Today we're reacting to unpopular bookish opinions because I love having my jaw fall to the floor in shock and then having to put it back in place. It's my favorite thing ever. Hey, hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jesse, and as you saw, today we are reacting to unpopular bookish opinions. I went over on my Instagram, asked you guys to submit your unpopular bookish opinions, and today I'm going to be reacting to them. I've already looked over a few of them, and I must say, y'all delivered. I'm excited to react to them today. But before we get to it, today's video has a sponsor. Today's video is being sponsored by Book of the Month. If you're looking to get your hands on new releases or books you might not have heard of before at an affordable price each month, look no further than Book of the Month. It's a monthly book subscription service that brings you fresh and new book releases each month at an affordable price, keeping your TBR exciting not only with new books, but books you might have never heard of before. Each month they hit you with a book list of 5 to 7 books to choose from. You select which book you want, or 2 books that you want. I've been there. Guilty, guilty, guilty. I love that add-on feature. And it'll arrive in a timely fashion for you to read. It's a great way to both save you time and save you money, which I feel like a lot of us are trying to do these days. If I can save time and save money, I'm gonna do it. If you don't enjoy a specific month's book selections, they offer you a skip option and you won't be charged for skipping. You can get your first book with Book of the Month for only $5 by using the code SPOOKY. $5 is actually crazy when you think about book prices these days. Just saying. Let's go over the 2 books I got this month. First up here, I got Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. I read a short story by Alex E. Harrow this year and it destroyed me in the best way possible. Like, would be destroyed again by Alex E. Harrow, and I plan to be destroyed again by Alex E. Harrow by reading this book. To say I'm looking forward to this book is the understatement of the year. It's a grim and gothic adult fantasy story. We follow a girl who begins working at Starling House, who was once owned by an author who went missing. And as our main character begins working at the Starling House, strange and mysterious things begin to happen. I feel like I'm picking this book up at the perfect time, giving me spooky Halloween vibes. And in the blue iconic box I got, I was not expecting this book to be this thick. The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. This is the start of a spin-off to the Shades of Magic trilogy, and it can be read on its own without prior knowledge to that trilogy. I'm always ready for more V.E. Schwab in my life. They always deliver on all fronts. These are my 2 picks this month, though let me just say, it was very hard to pick because there are so many good selections. Let's go over the selections now. We've got Wellness, The Leftover Woman, The Unmaking of June Farrow, When I'm Dead, The Unsettled, The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic. I really wanted this one. It was hard not to pick that one. I need it. Again, you can get your first book with Book of the Month for only $5 by using the code SPOOKY. I will leave a link down below in the description for more information on Book of the Month. Go and check that out. Back to the video. It is now time to react to the unpopular bookish opinions. I'm a little nervous. I need to prepare myself. Deep breaths. Jumping jacks. Maybe. Maybe not. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna keep our cool. I'll probably agree with all the opinions too. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, this is a safe space for unpopular opinions. I encourage unpopular opinions and I love healthy discussions. Let's get started. Let's go. Let's do this thing. I hate how everything is about spice and smut on Book Talk nowadays. You said what needed to be said. I think in general, like not even just Book Talk, like outside of Book Talk, like I'm sick of all the spice and naughty and smut. To each their own. Love what you love. Read that smut. Read that spice. Read that naughtiness. But I just feel like it's pushed on us so much. It's just been that one thing that's been like picked up and spewed in our faces all day, every day, and I'm tired of it. It's not even just on Book Talk. Like it's on Instagram. It's on YouTube, and like again, to each their own. Love that genre, read that book, do your thing. I'm tired of seeing it all over the place, all over my feed, which maybe I need to curate my feed better. And to that I say, yeah, duh, you're correct, you're not wrong, but mind your business. I think it is good to follow people that read outside the genres that you read, but like maybe I need to like give myself some variety and not only follow people that are reading those books. Not that I only follow like smut talkers, book talk smut readers, but just like a lot of them show up in my feed. And I think because I've like watched a few of them, my feed thinks that I want all of that. And no, TikTok, that's not all that I want. I want variety. Give me some variety. Please, please, please. Spice and smut, spice and smut, spice and spice and spice and smut. My new single on Spotify now. Book covers are becoming too pretty and enticing. It's far too easy to be trapped into a mediocre book. No lies have been detected. The way I feel this on such a strong level. I definitely agree with this. Like, don't get me wrong. I love a beautiful book cover, but like a beautiful book cover isn't going to cut it if the story is crap. I've read so many books in the past few years that have had beautiful, stunning covers that have just been like so amazing. And then you get into like the book and it's just like a mess, a straight up mess. And it's like, I didn't buy this book just for it to be beautiful on the outside. I wanted it to be beautiful on the inside too, okay? This is not a beauty pageant. There's more than just beauty at this pageant. You've got to have goodness on the inside too. Your plot has to make sense. We should be going deep with your characters, and the book overall should be well written. Is that too much to ask for? Is that too much? City of Bones is in my top 10 books this year so far. Don't know why everyone craps on TMI. I may or may not be a TMI crapper. I just can't help it. It's so easy to crap on. Honestly, love what you love. No shame to you. City of Bones is just fun to hate on. Let's be real. I had the hardest time getting through City of Bones. Like, I think I had to like push myself to really get through it. Like, I picked it up several times. I was never able to like push myself or commit. And I finally committed, and I still came out of it being like, yeah, there were some issues here with this book. I just feel like the world building is crap, trash. The characters and the dialogue cringe to a T. And some of the plot devices and tropes used, stanky, stank. And yet, still to this day, I continue to read Shadowhunter books, and that's because I am the poster boy for trash. No, but seriously, outside of all of my critiques for City of Bones, I still have a fun time reading that book. I still have a fun time reading Shadowhunter books. Like, at the end of the day, while there are lots of things we should be critiquing within those books because they're not perfect, they're still freaking fun, and you can't stop me from reading them unless they become illegal. Fourth Wing could have easily been a cringy YA novel from Y2K if not for the spice. The writing hurt me. I haven't read Fourth Wing yet, but I want to read it, and there's a reason why I want to read it, and that's because everybody says that it's like divergent in terms of the writing style, and like that is something that excites me. Like, that makes me want to read it. A cringy YA novel that gives off 2014 vibes? Yes. Put me in the spaceship, let's blast off like yesterday. I know that Fourth Wing is probably overhyped, and I probably won't love it as much as I hope that I'm going to love it, but I am going to give it a go at some point. I'm getting on the ride, and I'm going to yeet into whatever that book has for me. Even though I've seen the hype for Fourth Wing like all over the place, like who hasn't, I still don't fully know like what it's about. Is it about dragons doing spicy things? Because yikes, if that's the case. I mean, no judgment if you like dragons doing spicy things. I'm gonna start digging myself in a hole. Next, when people think reading dark romance makes you a bad person. See, I have not yet read a dark romance book, and I don't even really know what a dark romance book entails, but like I imagine it's like disturbing romance elements coming into play, and that was me stressing because I don't know how to address this. Like, read what you want to read, but like know that sometimes people are going to have things to say about the books that you were reading when you're talking about them on online spaces. I don't feel like I can have an opinion on this, but I just keep talking. Shut up, Jesse. Know when to shut up, Jesse, and shut it up, please. Again, I don't really know all there is to know about dark romances. I just imagine that there's like dark things happening in these romances. Obviously, dark romance. I'm so smart. I am willing to give dark romances a try at some point. The past few years, I've been like opening myself up to new genres, and I've been freaking loving all the things that I've been reading. So like, I'm open, but I'm also scared for some reason. Probably because it's dark romance, and I don't really know what that entails. So if you have any recommendations for me, let me know in the comments. Should I do a video on that? Maybe a vlog? I don't know. Mortal Instruments or anything Cassandra Clare is just basic love triangle tropes not even done well. I low-key feel like this is a known fact. Don't we all know this? Don't we just accept it for what it is? I think so. It's trash and we love it. See, I had a conversation with my friends recently about this because like I feel like I'm a little bit over Shadowhunters, even though I just talked about how much fun I have reading the Shadowhunter books, and I will probably continue to read the Shadowhunter books. Like, let me be so for real right now. I'm gonna keep reading them. Like, I'm in it for the long haul at this point. Like, I've read so far to the point where it's like, if I don't continue on, it's such a waste. Like, such a waste. But I personally, my personal opinion, don't bite me, please. Don't bite me. I specifically felt this with the Last Hours trilogy. I just felt like there were so many things that were brought up throughout that trilogy that we've already seen in all the other Shadowhunter books. Like, what was the point? Give us something new, give us something fresh, give us something interesting and unique. Not the same story over and over again. It makes me so sad because I feel like there was so much potential there. Specifically in the first book, there were elements that were brought in that I was like, oh, okay, I could see that going in a really epic place. And it did not. In my opinion, again, though. My opinion, I don't mean to be a hater, but I am definitely coming off as a hater, and I may claim the title of hater. Sorry. I hate the word romantasy. There was nothing wrong with fantasy romance. Yeah, I don't know why, but that name also just like rubs me the wrong way. Like, just call it a fantasy romance. But like, also it reminds me of when BookTube used to be called Booktubia. And that kills me a little inside because that just feels so cringe. I feel like I keep giving my opinion on things that I shouldn't even be giving my opinion on because I don't read fantasy romance. Unless you consider Throne of Glass fantasy romance. Is that a fantasy romance? There is romance in it. I feel like it stands on its own. Like, it has an interesting plot outside of the romance. So it's not romantasy, as they say. Books on shelves without the jacket is disrespectful to cover artists. Don't listen to them, my precious. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. You should say it. You're not wrong. Here's the thing. Me taking off the covers was supposed to be a temporary change. I was doing this thing at the beginning of the year where I was going to try to like reorganize my bookshelf in interesting ways every month. And then once I did this, I grew to love it. I was like, oh my God, this is beautiful. These nude books are beautiful, stunning in their natural form. I'm getting weird. No, but like I just like fell in love with this look. I fell in love with this vibe. And so when it came to the next month, when I was supposed to change up the organization, change up the look, I couldn't do it. I couldn't get myself to do it because I love this so much. But also I just feel like it's a reminder that like the most important thing about a book is the story inside of it, the insides of the book, not the outsides of the book. I say this after saying that I love the way that the nude books look. So whatever. Every contemporary romance cover is starting to look the same. I almost would argue that this is happening with every genre. Like every genre finds like one cover style and then tries to emulate it or duplicate it. And so like we just end up with a bookstore full of clones. It's aggravating. It's also similar to the stories that are being written. Like books are being ripped off of other books all the time. I'm just so tired. Classic does not equal good. I'm going to quietly say preach. I'm just scared of all the classic lovers. But I agree. Aggressively agree. Daughter of the Moon Goddess should have been a standalone. I agree. In fact, this brings me back to the entry where a book has a beautiful cover, but the inside is just like trash. That's how I feel about that book. Mind you, trash might be too harsh of a word. It just like was not it for me. And it most definitely could have been a standalone. Like you could say that a lot happens in the first book, but I would argue that not a lot happens in the first book and that there was no reason to drag it on into 2 books. Like just make it 1 book. Why are people so scared of standalones these days? Not everything needs to be a duology, a trilogy, a series. I said what I said, and I said it with my chest. You hear me? You hear that? I said it with my chest. Also, the tea is that book is just forgettable. I'll leave it at that. Becoming less and less of a fan of readers picking up things they know they'll hate on to hate on, especially if it's just to create a rant review. Of course, not including problematic books that are bad. Ooh, this is going to be a hard one to talk about, but I understand where you're coming from. Let me just say that. I totally get it. It's probably strange to like see creators just like pick up books that they know that they're not going to like and then like make these rant reviews on them. But I think that there also is an enjoyment on the creator side to go into a book knowing that you're not going to like it and kind of looking at things with a very critical eye. Like there is something fun about that for people. And if that's how somebody wants to spend their time and that's kind of the audience that they want for themselves, like that's totally fine. Do what you want to do. I think the best thing that you can do as a viewer is to just like not subscribe to those kinds of channels. Like unsubscribe if you don't want to see them on your feed at all. Blockity blockity block. People are so afraid of the block button these days. But like if you don't like somebody, if you don't want to see something, block, 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 block. The block button is there to be used. So block away. I feel like I just completely dismissed your opinion, but like your opinion is allowed and I understand where you're coming from. I just disagree a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay? You don't have to read or like every genre to be a reader. True, 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 true. I believe a truth bomb has been dropped, everybody. It's going to explode in 3, 2, 1. Not sure if this is valid, but Emiko Jean is the best. I agree. I'm a big Emiko Jean fan, so I might be a little bit biased in answering this question, but like I feel like she's an author that is completely overlooked all the time. Mind you, I know that she writes for a specific audience, contemporary-ish, romance-ish audience, though she does have a fantasy book if I remember correctly. I haven't read it yet, but you can bet it's on my list. But she just has like such a happy-go-lucky, light-hearted writing style, and I eat it up every time. Like, oh, devour. Just like that. Ashley Poston writes better romance than Colleen Hoover. Ooh, those are fighting words. Mind you, I have not read a Colleen Hoover book, so like honestly, I don't know. I've only read Ashley Poston and like I love Ashley Poston, but like maybe I need to read a Colleen Hoover book. Absolutely not gonna happen. And compare the two. See if I prefer Ashley Poston's books over Colleen Hoover's books. But I will say, I feel like Colleen Hoover tends to write like darker romances or like more serious subject matter romances. I could be wrong again. I've not read Colleen Hoover, so I don't know. But like that's just like the vibe I get. Like when I hear people talk about them, I'm like, oh, they're a bit more like on the serious side, where I feel like Ashley Poston's, I guess they do have like hints of seriousness here and there, but like for the most part, it's like a light, fun, fluffy moment. So maybe comparing the two is not fair. I like my books annotated in pen, highlighted, dog-eared even, just messy. They hold more life. I agree. Like even though I have a book collection that's like in pretty good condition, I love a book that is just like destroyed. A book that just has like markings all over it. A book that looks like it's been read time and time again. There's something so beautiful about it. I will say that while while I'm an annotator and like I love writing in my books, I look at other people's annotated books and I get intimidated. Like, what are you guys writing in there? Like, what are you guys highlighting? You're like highlighting every other line and I'm like, huh? I highlight a line like every 30, 50 pages. Am I doing this wrong? Is there a right way to do it? Am I going to get canceled for not annotating correctly? I feel like I need to watch a video on annotating and take some notes. That might be helpful. I usually don't remember the authors of books I've read. Ooh, interesting. I feel like I'm typically pretty good at remembering authors' names, specifically if it's a book by an author that I love. Because if I love a book by an author, I'm going to do some research and see if they have other books out there. But also I follow a lot of authors. Wow, I just made it sound like I stalk the authors because I was like, I follow the authors. I follow them around. I follow them when they go to the grocery store, when they go to the bank, when they go to the doctor. No, I mean I follow them on social media. Let me clarify, bring you some clarity here. And so in doing that and following them on social media, they make much more of a mark on my mind and I remember them. Too many special editions are coming out, especially of the same books every time. Way too many, and yet I try to catch them all like Pokemon because I want them all. Yes, this. And here's the thing, I love special editions of books, but like not every book needs 15 special editions of that book. Like there is a crazy, and I mean crazy, that was scary, amount of editions for Fourth Wing. And then also Cassandra Clare's book that hasn't even come out yet has like tons of editions, too many editions. And it gets to a point where it's like, are these even special anymore? Do you infuse them with fairy dust? I don't think so. Ninth House is boring and overrated. Hi, you want to be besties? Because I felt the same way. I struggled so bad with Ninth House and I am a Leigh Bardugo lover. Don't get it twisted. Like I love me some Leigh Bardugo, but like it was just not it. It dragged on and on and on. It was boring and I felt like it was also just trying so hard to be edgy just to be edgy. But again, that's just my opinion. Don't fight me. Not looking to fight here. Just offering up my perspective. I'm sorry to all the Ninth House lovers out there. We can't all be lovers. Some of us gotta be haters. I don't mind stickers on books. Then you can have all my book stickers. I'll take mine and put them on your books. How about that? Nonfiction is a wonderful genre that people would love if they gave it a try. I've actually been reading lots of nonfiction books lately, and I have a video coming out soon on nonfiction books, and I have some recommendations for you guys. The one that I've read that I loved the most so far for that video is Dark Archives, so highly recommend if you're looking to get into nonfiction, check it out. But yeah, I've like ignited a love within myself for nonfiction books, and I'm so excited to keep on trekking on this journey. It's okay to like objectively bad books, example, Twilight, as long as you acknowledge it's bad, and don't try to pass it off as good or anything other than trash. Some people really be out there saying ACOTAR is phenomenal writing. See, I kind of disagree with this one a little bit. I don't think that you have to acknowledge a book as trash when you say that you love it. Like I don't. And I feel like to each their own, like everybody has different perspectives, different opinions on like what is good writing. And sure, you could say like, I have an English degree. I know what qualifies as amazing writing. Like, yes, you probably have much more insight on what is good writing. But at the end of the day, not everybody has an English degree and they're forming their opinions on the knowledge that they have and the books that they have read and that they like. So I disagree. I definitely understand where you're coming from, but I also just feel like I don't think you have to acknowledge that a book is badly written. You can love what you love. There's no rule book when it comes to reading. It's all up to you. I feel like I was really harsh on your opinion, but you're allowed to have that opinion. I'm trying to give you a heart as well because I was harsh. There's a heart for you. Can you see it? It's not a very good heart, but like it's a heart. It's the worst when books have a ribbon bookmark attached to them. The ribbon always frays. New fear unlocked. I've never had a ribbon bookmark fray, and now it's my biggest fear. Not really my biggest fear, but like that's really unfortunate because I love a ribbon bookmark. It's so handy. So nice. Aaron Warner is manipulative and awful. Does anybody have any tea? Because I need to sip it. Anybody? Anybody? Somewhere in the distance, Witty Novels is quaking. ACOTAR is better than Throne of Glass. Throne of Glass is better than ACOTAR. The fact that those came in right after each other. What's the truth, you guys? What's the truth? I have a special place in my heart for Throne of Glass. Obviously, I have not finished the Throne of Glass series. I have one book left, and I've only read ACOTAR out of the entirety of the ACOTAR series. I don't know if my opinion would even be valid, but like, I love Throne of Glass better, I think, at this point in time. Thank you. Online bookshops must do a better job at shipping books. I've gotten so many damaged books in the mail. I agree. Lately, I feel like they've just been like shoving books in an envelope, throwing it on the ground a couple of times, jumping on the book, and then throwing it to the mailman. And then the mailman takes it and he like shakes it, throws it on the ground, stomps on it, and then throws it at the door. And it's like, bruh, what happened to my book? In transit, what went on? I'm confused. But yeah, I feel like a lot of my books lately have been damaged and it's been very upsetting. That's all the unpopular bookish opinions that I will be reacting to today. day. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below in the comments if you have an unpopular opinion on anything. Maybe I'll do another video like this soon where I reply to YouTube comments rather than Instagram comments. So drop an unpopular bookish opinion down below in the comments, or comment on an opinion that popped up in this video and tell me your thoughts on it. Again, thank you to Book of the Month for sponsoring today's video. You can get your first book for only $5 currently using the code SPOOKY. Link down below in the description to Book of the Month. If you like this video, be sure to go and hit that like button. If you want to see more bookish content from me, be sure to go and hit subscribe or go and hit that bell icon and you'll be notified every time I post new videos. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope your day is bright, that tomorrow is brighter. Keep reading what your heart desires, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye.